Hey everybody, Brian Valente from Redrock Micro. We're here at NAB 2015. We're going to show you our new Halo system. It's something we've been working on for quite a while. I call it our avatar product. We had to wait 5 years for the technology to catch up to show you what I'm about to show you today. So, the problem we're trying to solve is one of focus control. We got a lot of big chips, we've got a lot of fast lenses, and people love that cinematic style of selective focus. And it's a great tool. Problem is it's gotten really, really hard to do. Even if you're an experienced AC, pulling focus now with today's technology is just an increasingly difficult thing to do, let alone if you're not experienced. So what we wanted to do was solve the problem for amateurs and enthusiasts who maybe need full focus control, all the way up to people who are professional ACs and still want to have retain control over the focus, but just need a little better system to do it. So this is the Halo system. It starts out with our 3-channel remote. You can see I have zoom here, I have iris, which I can adjust, and I have, of course, the wheel, which allows me to control the focus. One of the things you'll notice here, this has got a lot more information in a lot more visually appealing and intuitive way to represent it. So as I'm moving this, not only do I have the distance scale, but I also have the actual distance that I'm measuring, focusing at is what I meant. And then you can see on this ring, it's actually calculating the available depth of field. So as I move it, it's showing me how much depth of field I have to work with. One of the things that makes this really interesting is our Halo Explorer. This is the device that you'll see underneath the camera here. It is based on the same technology used on autonomous cars for collision detection and avoidance. So you know it's real time, there's no setup involved. It simply turns on, it does what we call intelligent scene scanning, and actually kind of creates a map in front of the camera. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that on. And you'll see that I have Larissa here who's walking about, and now she's represented on the screen. And what I can do is, as she's moving about, in terms of just direct focus controls, as I move this, she's actually, as long as I keep the line more or less on her and she's in my depth of field, I know that she's going to be kept in focus. So this is a very intuitive and graphical way to actually do this focusing. I'm going to go ahead and have Alex step in just so we have somebody else in the scene. And you'll show, again, as I add another person, I can move between them. I happen to like finger scrubbing myself as far as the interface, so I'm going to go ahead and just use my fingers to control the distance. I can either drag to control it, or I can just simply tap, and allows me to move between them. And this is a really easy and obvious way to not only focus, but I can see where they're going, I can predict where their focus is going, and actually see where they are graphically, so as I move between them, I'm not guessing at where the focus is going to be. Now, where it gets really interesting is Halo is actually a verb, so I can go ahead and Halo somebody, I tap on them, and it will actually start auto-focusing on them and tracking and watching where they go. And I can actually switch easily by going between these folks, and as I'm doing this, Halo is actually taking care of the focus for me. So what's really easy to do is I can just simply tap on them, and again, the focus is actually being managed for me. One of the things also in terms of focus tracking that Alex is going to demonstrate is, while I'm on Larissa, he can actually step outside of the angle of view of the lens, and I can still focus on him, and when he walks into the camera, he's going to be in focus. So it's not limited to the angle of view of the lens. The last thing I want to show you is we can also manually intervene and have a combination of automatic and manual focus. So as I'm tracking Alex here, one of the things that I can do is actually scrub, and as I move this, I'm taking over control of focus. So maybe I'm at the dartboard, then I move down to Larissa, and then when I let go, it's going to go back to the automatic tracking of the person. So I have the ability to move inside and outside of automatic focusing and do it in a very smooth and organic way. So this is a system that we're previewing today for the very first time. You're kind of getting a first glimpse at it. We expect to be available later this year. We haven't finalized the pricing, but we're aiming for something in the $2,000 to $5,000 range. So Brian Valente, check us out at redrockmicro.com.